Hey everybody, good morning and welcome back to Mad Horse Barbecue. My name is Brian, and in today's video we're going to be doing up a Duroc pork butt on the UDS that I made. We're going to do this thing up hot and fast, right over the coals, no heat deflector. I'm going to get everything prepped up and I'm going to light the drum up all on video, and I'm just going to kind of show you the process I take to to get the meat ready and to get the UDS going. We're going to be doing this one hot and fast today, so typically if I were to do this low and slow, I would be started a lot earlier. Like it's about 8:15 a.m. Central Time right now. If I was doing this low and slow, I would typically probably be up by 5, pork butt on by 6, and shoot for a 10 to 12 hour cook. But today we're going to be cooking at 325, anywhere in between 300 and 325 is going to be the target temp of the UDS. And I'm hoping to get this thing done in about 5 hours. I don't know why, but I got 5 hours in my mind. I've scoured the YouTube. I've talked to Darren over at Ash Kicking about hot and fast stuff. And I'm hoping to get this thing done in about 5 hours. I've done hot and fast before on my Weber Smoky Mountain, and I think I got that one done in 5 hours. So I don't see why I can't get it done on here, because the Weber Smoky Mountain and this are essentially the same exact thing. It's a drum style smoker. So without further ado, let me take you in, and let's get this pork butt prep first. All right, so essentially first off, this nice stainless steel prep table. Actually, Z-Grills makes this, and they gave it to my dad. My dad didn't have any room, go figure, because he's got about 40 dang grills in his garage. But my dad asked me if I wanted it, and this is a pretty nice stainless steel coated, or it's a stainless table. It's 2 feet wide by 4 feet long. It's got that middle shelf on it, and it's gonna work pretty nice for prepping this butt. So enough about the table, let's get going on this butt. You can see we got a Duroc pork butt right here today. Give her a couple slaps. Let's get her cut open and rubbed up. All right, pork butt is out of the packaging, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take the whole thing and just pat it with some paper towel. And we're not gonna use a binder today, but we are gonna use 2 different rubs. First rub we're gonna go on with is the White Lightning Boar's Night Out. I like this stuff on pretty much everything. We're just gonna go ahead and cover this thing liberally. Okay, what I'm going to go ahead and do, since I didn't use a binder, this Boar's Night Out is a really fine rub, so I'm just going to kind of let it sweat, and then once it sweats, I'm going to put on my next rub. So give this about 5 minutes, and I'll show you what I do next. All right, been about 5 minutes, the rub's starting to sweat. Now we're going to go on with a coat of the Tailgaters BBQ Party Rub. I'm going to go on really heavy with this stuff, too. I used this flavor combo on some racks of ribs the other day, and it was just awesome. And that is going to be good on the butt for the seasoning. And you might notice that I do have an onion here. I've heard of people doing this before, but they put the onion on the coals. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this onion and just cut it in quarters. All right, pork butt seasoned up, onions cut up. Let's go ahead and get the UDS going. All right, so you can see we got the grill grate on the left, charcoal basket on the right. We do have some chunks of wood there. That is just regular oak. And we're using a new kind of coal today. We're using this Blues Hog, 100% natural hardwood, bump charcoal. That is made in the USA. That's pretty neat. But I've never used this stuff. Love their barbecue sauce, so I'm really excited to try their coal. So first things first, let's see if I can open this bag. Bust out the razor blade. She's opened up real nice now. First appearances on the Blues Hog. We got some pretty good sized chunks of coal in there. I'm a big fan of that. So go ahead and show you how I get the basket prepped. So I like to kind of layer this. So I'm just going to take some coal and dump it in first. Be about good. Kind of spread it around even, and then I'm going to take one of these big chunks of oak and kind of put that right in the middle. And then I'm going to take a couple smaller pieces and just layer it. Take some more coal. Good. Again, spread it around even. And I'm going to put another big chunk right there, and then another chunk there. And we'll probably just take a couple handfuls and sprinkle it. I don't think I'll need a full basket of coal, but I don't not want to need a full basket, or I don't want to find out that I need a full basket and not have enough coal. So that'll be good. Right there. Got some tumbleweed starters here. since we're cooking hot and fast, I just want to bring this thing up to temp. I could just light some charcoal up in the chimney, but I don't want to do that. I'm going to take a couple tumbleweeds and stick them down in the coal. Now since the basket's full, take the basket, drop it into the bottom of my barrel. I'm going to open up both intakes, and then I'm going to light up the tumbleweeds. Just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and let this thing just kind of burn, just like it is, top off, intakes open, probably for about 10 to 15 minutes, or more or less. Just whenever I get a good hot bed of coals is when I'll shut this thing down and start letting it come up to temp. So when I do that, I will pick back up. All right, the chimney starters are all burned out. We got a good hot bed of coals going, so I'm going to go ahead and throw these chunks of onion in. Go ahead and take my grate, stick that on. I'm going to go ahead and take my ThermoWorks Smoke X4, put it through the Weber Smoky Mountain grommet hole. And if you notice, I position these so when I stick it through, it sticks right through that grill handle, or right through the grate handle. You can see it right there, I think. But it works out pretty dang good. My next step is to get this pit up to temp, so I'm going to go ahead and shut the lid before this thing starts burning too much. And all the vents are wide open. When this thing gets to about 285, 290, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close these to about a quarter way, and hopefully that'll make me sit right at about, I don't know, 300 to 325. So when we are throwing the pork butt on, we will pick back up, so we'll see you then. Alrighty, we are back. UDS is it's coming up to temp. It's right at about 300. This is my first cook on the UDS doing hot and fast like this, so it'll just be some experimentation. But the temp on the on the ThermoWorks X4 is right at 300 right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the butt on. So let's do it. Butt is on. Fat cap down. I'm gonna go ahead and shut the lid. And I am not gonna temp probe this. Because I'm thinking it's going to be on here for about 2 to 3 hours before I wrap it. But what I am going to do is I'm going to pick back up here in 1 hour and just kind of see how it looks, see if I got to spritz it. One thing, I do have spritz, but I am not going to use that spritz unless it is completely dry. Talking with Dan Woods, who's actually the creator of that Tailgater BBQ Party Rub, we kind of got to talking about how my bark doesn't turn out sometimes, and he recommended to me to not spray unless your surface is completely dry. So a lot of the times I'd spray and like it would still be somewhat wet, but it would be dry. But it's not going to get sprayed unless it's completely dry. So we will pick back up in 1 hour. Alrighty, we are back. We are 1 hour into the cook. This UDS has been holding steady right in between like 300 and 310. I'll take a 10-degree temp fluctuation. Haven't really adjusted the vents. I will say when I first shut the lid, it kind of climbed up to like 325. But after about the first 10 minutes, it settled down and it stopped at about 302. So like I said, 300 to 310. I've been monitoring the temps inside with my receiver here for my X4. And I don't know if you can see it with the glare, but right at about 305. Pork butt's been on for an hour. I know it's not ready yet, but let's just go ahead and take a peek at it. Take a peek at it through the smoke. It's a combination of smoke and all that fat stripping onto the coals, so it's some smoke, some steam. But yeah, you can see that the outside, that bark is not set yet, and you can see it's still a little wet to the touch. So I'm not going to spray this down with anything because I want that bark. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is close this thing down, set another timer for an hour, and we'll see you then. All right, we're back 2 hours in. Take a quick peek at the butt. Looking pretty good. That bark is just about set. Still a little tacky up top. So again, I'm not going to spray, but what I am going to do is check the internal temp on this and see where we're at. At about 100. I actually thought we might be a little farther along than that, but go ahead, close this thing back down, and let it go for about another hour. So we will check back in at the 3 hour mark. All right, we are back 3 hours in. Go ahead and take a peek at it. Looking good. Temp it at about 135. So I'm still, this is actually taking a little while longer. I'm going to close it. It's taking a little while long. Whoa, let me talk again. It's taking a little while longer than I thought it would have, but this is about a 10-pound bone-in pork butt. So it just, it kind of is what it is. I could bump these my vents open a little bit and crank the temp up, but this thing has been, it climbed up for a little, it climbed up to about 325 degrees exactly for the last hour or so. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna let it rock at that. That outside still does have a little moisture to it, so I'm not gonna spray it. And we're gonna let this thing go for another hour, and we'll check back in. So we'll see you then. All right, we are back. We are actually 4.5 hours in. I just temped it. Internal temp is at about 167, and the bark's where I want it. So let's go ahead, pull this thing off, and get it wrapped. All right, got 2 layers of heavy-duty aluminum foil out here on my nice Z-Grills prep table. No liquid to this tin foil. I don't add liquid when I cook pork butts because I think they're plenty juicy and moist how they are. But what I am going to do is I'm going to add just a little bit more of the Tailgaters BBQ Party Rub right to the top of this. That'll be good. And I'm going to go ahead and double wrap this in foil. Just like that. And that is going to be pretty much all for the cooked portion of this. You could finish this off in the oven if you wanted to, but she's still rocking, plenty hot. So I'm guessing another hour and a half, 2 hours wrapped, and hopefully it'll be done. And then when it is done, I'm going to let it rest for a couple hours, and it'll be time to pull into it. So when we're pulling into this, we will pick back up. So we'll see you then. Alrighty, we are back, and it is time to eat. Real quick, go over the cook times on this hot and fast pork butt. Did 4.5 hours unwrapped, hour and a half wrapped. Taking this to exactly 6-hour cook. When I wrapped it, internal temp was about that 165 to 167 range, and then I pulled it off. Internal today was 201, 202. I usually don't ever check pork butts until they at least hit 200. That's just my own personal experience. I think they turn out better 200 and above. So let's just get this thing, it's been resting, so let's get it unwrapped and let's pull into it and see how we did. I think I should have picked a different color board, but there's the pork butt, nice looking bark on it. First thing I'm going to do, I never go over this, but when I cook fat cap down, I like to just take the fat cap right off of it. I'm just going to flip it over, and then the fat cap should kind of more or less just peel off, just like so. And again, I fat cap one down to protect it from the meat, and I don't know if you can see that, but that fat cap did its job, and it protected the meat from the heat. Let's go ahead and pull into it. Remove that bone first. You hear a mic drop. How about bone drop, I guess. I don't know. I just made that up. But let's go ahead and shred this thing up, see what we got. But let's go ahead and try this piece with this nice bark on it. There it is. That combo of rubs, the Boar's Night Out, White Lightning, and then my go-to for pork, Tailgaters BBQ Party Rub. The combo of rubs on pork is absolutely fantastic. Like I said, I did it on some hot and fast ribs the other day. I will definitely be using this same combo. Blues Hog Charcoal, it's pretty good. It was like $27.99 a bag. I can't say I'll buy it again just because I'm such a fan of the B&B oak lump, because I can get that pretty much anywhere, and then I can get the B&B oak briquettes as well. But the chunks of oak mixed in with that. Can't say I can tell the onion was in there, but the onion sure smelled good when it was cooking, or when it was in the charcoal, I guess. But, besides that, I'm going to shred this up a little more because I like to get it a little more fine. Plate this up, eat some sandwiches, and have a pretty good meal. So I really appreciate you guys and girls watching, and we will see you next time.